I'm picking it up. I don't know what it is. What the hell is that? Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sanctum. Well, if you couldn't tell by that opening, what we're going to be looking at here today is the Ben Cooper alien costume. Now, this is a costume that I have been seeking for quite a while. They're out there, they pop up, but they're hard to get and they usually go for fairly high prices. And I was able to pick one up in October of all months for a fairly reasonable price, and it's in fantastic condition. And I didn't want to let the month slip by without sharing this costume with you, since it is Halloween month and since I've been focusing on a lot of these Ben Cooper and Collegeville costumes this month. So, let's take a look at 20th Century Fox's Alien. Now, Alien was a terrifying movie directed by Ridley Scott, starring Sigourney Weaver, Ian Holm, John Hurt, Yaphet Kotto, Tom Skerritt, and Harry Dean Stanton, and Veronica Cartwright. And it was a big hit in 1979. It took place in outer space, and it had monsters in it. Now, many people consider it a sci-fi film, but I actually consider it more of a horror film. But regardless of whether you consider it sci-fi or horror, it was rated R. And yet, in 1979, there was quite a bit of alien merchandise being marketed towards children. And of course, the main culprit to blame for this would be Star Wars. Because Star Wars took off like nobody would believe. And so suddenly, every company wanted to jump on that marketing bandwagon. They didn't know what the next space sci-fi hit was going to be. So I assume the brains at Kenner thought that Alien, being a space movie, would be a big hit and they could market the stuff towards kids, not realizing how terrifying the movie is. And of course, everybody knows the stories, how they made the giant alien doll, and there was an alien target kit and an alien board game. And that figure was recalled and it's highly collectible now because of the recall, and people, and also because it wasn't made very well. It kind of falls apart, and it's hard to find one complete, much less one in a box. But I guess Ben Cooper must have jumped on that bandwagon as well and decided to release an alien costume in 1979. Now, as you can see, it's kind of a generic box. We're edging into the 80s here. So, but it's kind of cool in its simplicity for Alien. I like the muted colors. I like the circle cellophane front, like a porthole, and I like the Alien font and the big Ben Cooper circle up there. This one's great because it's got so much patina on it. It's got, well, let's see if we can see it there. Regular price, it was $4.17. But terrified mothers didn't buy it. It's a small. So this was for a child 4 to 6 years old. They want a 4 to 6 year old child going out as an alien from a rated R movie. It was reduced to $2.99 to $1 to 50 cents. Let me tell you, I paid a lot more than 50 cents for this. And it goes for pretty good money on the secondary market because you've got Alien fans out there and because it's part of that merchandising push that I talked about where people love the fact that this rated R movie was marketed to kids. Now, I was probably about 10 or 11 when Alien first came out, and I can remember seeing the commercial on TV for it. And this was a time when they didn't give away the entire plot of the movie. It was just this weird, abstract, bizarre thing. I didn't know what it was. And of course, the marketing ploy for Alien was always that egg with the crack, opening up with the light coming out and saying, "In space, no one can hear you scream." So obviously I didn't go to see the movie at that time. My first exposure to Alien was the heavy metal comic book adaptation of it, written by Archie Goodwin and drawn by Walt Simonson. My parents were divorced when I was younger, and my dad used to take me out on Saturday afternoons, and we would often go to the bookstore or a comic store or something along those lines. And being a dad that just in general wouldn't look at whatever I handed him to buy. So I was like, "Dad, can I get this?" And he's like, "Sure." And that adaptation was pretty gory. And to this day, it is one of the best adaptations of a movie, in my opinion. It's drawn beautifully, it's written beautifully, and it's terrifying to read. I was terrified when I read that adaptation of the movie. And there are still panels in that today that are so nightmarish, that they are so effective. To this day, it's one of my favorite adaptations of a film to comic books. And I used to buy all the adaptations. I have The Creepshow, I had Alien, I had For Your Eyes Only, Raiders of the Lost Ark, all the stuff that Marvel would put out. But that Alien adaptation is one of the best. Now, admittedly, this is a very cool costume. And obviously it's a great piece of memorabilia for anybody that's a fan of 70s horror or science fiction or the film Alien. But in retrospect, you have to think, what were the guys at Ben Cooper thinking? Were they like, "Yeah, we got this really cool rated R movie and we're going to turn it into a kid's costume. We're going to offer it in small, medium, and large. Oh, and the entire thing, it's going to be pitch black, dark, black pants, black torso, black mask." I mean, it's like Irwin Mainway designed this thing from Saturday Night Live. But it is really cool. And it's got that sort of alien exoskeleton there, or ectoskeleton. Then you've got the alien bursting out of its own chest. I like it that they go with the H.R. Geiger style for it. I mean, you've got the tubes and it looks like they could be electrical wires or they could be intestines. And there's a rib cage, and it looks metallic, but at the same time it looks organic, which is what H.R. Geiger was all about, I suppose. And you've got the bright alien coming out there, and then the mask. The mask is fantastic. The mask is really, really good job on the mask. One of my favorite Ben Cooper masks, because it captures in its fun, simplistic way. It is terrifying. It's got the teeth coming out there, the way the head is shaped, and then it's got the sort of clear dome at the top there. And of course, that clear dome is what's always missing on the alien figures, isn't it? And it's just a real dark black paint job, and you've got sort of these things going up the side there. That, again, that Geiger-esque style to it. I mean, can you imagine a bunch of kids wandering down the street dressed in this costume? Like 20 or 30 kids marching down a dark street, all dressed as the alien from Aliens. There's a terrifying scene for a movie for you. But I just wanted to do this quick episode so I could share this with everyone, share my love of Alien. I do love the Alien series. Of course, it does have diminishing returns as the movies move on and on. Although I will admit, too, I am a fan of the film Prometheus. There's something about it that I like, and I think it works as a cool sequel/prequel to the original Alien. And the more I look back on it, Alien really is the best of the series. Now, this isn't the last alien costume they made. Collegeville in 1992 did an alien costume for Alien 3. And that really must have been the last legs of these types of costumes, because by the late 80s, Halloween was in danger of petering out. You know, everyone knows, due to the Tylenol scares and things along those lines. And these costumes just started to disappear from store shelves. But you would still see stuff pop up in the 80s, and we're going to see a couple of those cool 80s costumes coming up in the next episode. So once again, we come to the end of another episode of The Sanctum. I hope you guys enjoyed checking out this cool Ben Cooper alien costume with me. And remember, in The Sanctum, no one can hear you scream. Seriously, they can't. A long box fell on me down here one time, and I was wedged between that and a pile of Al Adamson DVDs, screaming for my wife to come down and help me. Screamed till I was hoarse. I was forced to eat an old box of raisins I found. Anyway, my friends, we'll see you soon in The Sanctum. Don't forget to check out our other Ben Cooper costume episodes. We've got quite a few now, and I'm going to be adding a few more just before Halloween. So until next time, we'll see you in The Sanctum. Walk in beauty, my friends.
He put up a terrific battle, ma'am, but clean living prevailed.